We live in this society where we love animals, and we have, all sorts of other manifestations of appreciation of animals in nature, such as 80 million bird watchers. There are 200 million visits to America's national parks. All of these examples of fascination, appreciation. Yet we also live in a culture, this contradictory culture, where we have factory farming of animals, where we have staged animal fights, where we kill animals like seals for their pelts for the international fur trade, where we shoot animals in fenced enclosures that we call canned hunts. Lots of terrible stuff happens, and really we're at a moment in society where this idea of concern and ethical treatment of animals and concern for the environment is ascendant. Yet this historical attitude of exploitation and domination and harm is still out there. One force or the other's got to prevail. And I think it's only with moral agency and only when good people stand up and participate do we see change in society. And really, that's what Bill Durston's campaign is about. It's about change. It's about not being a spectator when it comes to making the world a better place. It's about participation. So we're really here for Bill Durston tonight. And Bill, I want to thank you again for what you've done, and I want to let you know that I stand proudly behind you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne, for your troubling words, but at the same time inspiring words, and thanks for your support. With all the other problems we face, some people say, well, why do we care about cruel treatment of other species, and why do we care about extinction of non-human species? We live on a finite planet. Our planet has been likened to an island in space, and there's no other island that we can move to within the time course of the life of a human being if we trash this planet. So living on this island in space, we should take heed from the example of another island. That's the example of Easter Island in the South Pacific. Archaeologists have studied this island, and they believe that it was first settled by Polynesians back about 1,500 years ago. And the evidence shows that up to the 16th century, there was a very thriving agricultural economy on the island of Easter Island. But by the 17th century, when Europeans arrived, there were no humans left. All there were these big stone statues, apparently as a result of the fact that the people of Easter Island had used up all their resources. Certainly there's economic value in developing an open space into housing development or a shopping mall, in turning a forest into lumber products, in netting a school of fish to sell for a human consumption, in carving up a mountain for metal ore. And a lot of people in our country have gotten rich from those type of enterprises. In fact, getting rich in that manner has been referred to as the American dream. But we shouldn't let the American dream turn into an American nightmare by destroying the national or the natural treasures that are most precious to us. And conversely, there is a value which I think has been grossly underestimated and almost entirely uncompensated in preserving open space, in preserving the natural environment, and preserving the other species on Earth. Time is running out for a lot of the species on our planet and for the overall health of our environment and our ecosystem. And no matter how responsible we try to be ourselves, and no matter how hard we try to educate others, there's always going to be that person who's going to drive by in the Hummer with one of those bumper stickers that reads, "I'm using up the oil that you're saving." And as long as there's a profit to be made in the cruel confinement of animals in these tiny cages, or in clear-cutting forests, or in strip mining, or in overfishing, or for that matter, in invading other countries, there are going to be people who will engage in those activities unless we pass and enforce legislation to prevent them from doing so. And legislators like Dan Lundgren, who get big contributions from developers and from the political action committees of agribusiness, the oil companies, and the war profiteers, are never going to vote for that kind of legislation. So that's why it's so important to elect leaders at every level of government who are going to represent the interests of the people, not the interests of their corporate donors. And that's one of the reasons why I'm running against Dan Lundgren for Congress. If every living species in this district could vote, if the trees that are threatened with clear cutting, if the animals and the birds and the fish and the plants that are threatened with encroachment on their natural environment, if the animals and pets subjected to daily cruelty could all vote, we'd win by a landslide. But only we humans can vote. And we hold the future of these more vulnerable species and the future of our children in our hands. So we have to work a little harder on their behalf and to satisfy our own consciences that when we leave this planet, we will have left it in at least as good a condition as we found it. In summary, I want to say it's an honor for me to receive the endorsement of the Humane Society Legislative Fund. It's even greater honor to receive the personal endorsement of someone I admire and respect as much as Wayne Pacelle. But I want to re-emphasize that this campaign is not about me. It's about all of us working together toward a healthier, safer future for our country and our planet. I am honored to be working with you on this critically important campaign, and I look forward to the honor of representing you in the United States Congress. Thank you very much.